I'm Shae Russell from mining.com.au, and joining me today is Brendan Cummins, the Managing Director for Black Canyon. Brendan, how are you? It's great to see you today.
Yeah, good. Thanks, Shae. Good to be back here on mining.com, and always a pleasure to catch up with yourself and talk about what we're doing at Black Canyon.
Well, I'm thrilled to have you on because, boy, oh boy, some of the results that hit the market towards the end of last week, very exciting. Now, you've just finished a 6-hole drill program out at your Wandanya prospect in the Pilbara. Can you please tell me more about some of these highlights that you've just announced?
So what we did, we actually drilled over 40 holes at the Wandanya Project, and I've expedited the assaying for 6 of those samples, for 6 of those drill holes, and I've actually put those through the portable XRF and come up with some very consistent results over the holes that we sampled. So I can probably just run you through the process. We drilled 6 drill fences across this project, going from about 240 metres a strike. And then what I've done is resampled the 2 most eastern holes on 3 of those lines. Just really simple, top one, middle one, bottom one, not really being selective in the selection of those holes. It's really the 2 eastern holes, because I wanted to know what we had when we're drilling it. There was a lot of black manganese coming out of those holes. So I got pretty excited about it. And so using portable XRF, there are a couple of tricks to pXRF. You've got to ensure that the sample is homogeneous. So taking a reading on raw RC samples is a little bit fraught with some danger in terms of representativity. So what I've done is dropped the samples to the lab on the Tuesday last week, got them back on the Thursday morning. They pulverised them for me, dried and pulverised them for me. So I got little packets, 200-gram packets of the sample. And then I've XRF that material. So it was just really important for me to understand what type of mineralisation we had and what grade ranges we were getting. And the numbers are speak for themselves. Very, very, very happy with the numbers we got back. Multiple holes receiving 5 metre intervals at 30% manganese, with a couple of metres above 40% manganese as well at the bottom of that, the bottom of those intersections.
Can you talk me through a little bit more of what the exploration program looked like? I mean, as you just said, you were super excited about all of those black rocks coming through. So, what sort of drilling were you looking at? But also, too, there's something in the announcement here that talks about the seam being visible. What is that?
Yeah, look, the mineralisation we've encountered at Wandanya I think, is quite unique across the eastern Pilbara. You've got woody, which is a hydrothermal style of mineralisation. The mineralisation, as the fluids have permeated up through fault zones, and then it's exploited a particular horizon between some Binjin and the Carawan dolomite. And it forms quite blobby lozenges of mineralisation. Some of them can be quite big, some of them can be quite small. But what we've encountered at Wandanya is a very continuous strata band or a seam of manganese, based on the drilling we've done today, 240 metres long, 40 to 50 metres wide. It looks like it's open to the east and the north as well. So there's plenty of upside. But what I really like about it, it's almost like the best of both worlds in that you're getting hydrothermal type grades associated with a seam or a horizon of manganese enrichment. I still can't really explain why it's there. It may be a bit of a hybrid model. There may be fault structures further to the east that we haven't found yet. They may be mineralised, and there also might be multiple horizons of manganese that we get to drill and in this new area. So I can't help but be excited. It's very early days, one drill program in, but I'm really liking what I'm seeing out there.
I always love it when the geos are excited about the rocks that they're pulling out. Now, I think unfairly, I've got a double barrel question coming for you. And I guess that's what these results, and based on what you're telling me, it sounds like there is a lot of potential yet to be discovered here. But before you get to that point, you have announced 6 holes to the market of what was a 40-plus drill hole program. When do we get to see the rest of the results?
So, as I mentioned previously, I've sampled like 6 holes in those intersections. They've been expedited for assay. So firstly, I've put out the pXRF results, got those out really quite quickly. And now I'm waiting for the actual lab assay results coming from the lab. So we can expect those probably within the next 2 weeks. And I guess with the methodology that I'm using the pXRF, I don't expect to be that much difference between the pXRF results and also what we get from the actual lab analysis. So there'll be 2.5, within the next 2 weeks, and then the full programs that we drilled at Wandanya and also KR2 will be out. It's about a six week turnaround time at the labs at the moment, so we can expect those in on mid November. Which will just go through the other drill lines, the other 3 drill lines that encounter the same mineralisation.
Well, Christmas might come early for you by the sounds of it. Brendan, listen, it was great to have you here, and it's great to hear about this Wandanya project. We haven't had a chance to talk about it more, so I insist that you come back on so we do get to learn more about this project over the coming weeks. Thanks again for being here.
No worries.